Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone.
We are from Group 3 and now we will explain about complex sentence. Before that, we will introduce ourselves. Hello, my name is Ashifa Fatima Azhara as a first speaker and my friends.
My name is Muhammad Miftahul Basar as a second speaker and
My name is Rifika Mahafiz as a third speaker and my friend.
My name is Muhammad Halil Fatih as the last speaker.
The first explanation is about complex sentence. What is complex sentence? Complex sentence is a sentence that contains one independent clause and at least one dependent clause. So if you have one independent clause and at least you have one dependent clause and they're combined, so it calls complex sentence. I have an example. The dependent clause is she studies every night. It's dependent clause. This sentence can stand alone. And I have one dependent clause because she wants to pass the exam. So if you want to combine them to make it a complete sentence, you have to bring the conjunction. So the complex sentence is she studies every night because she wants to pass the exam. This is called complex sentence. I have a breakdown of this sentence. She is a subject, studies is a verb, and every night is a adverb. This is indefinite clause. So this is I have a conjunction because it's a conjunction to connect this sentence, the first sentence and the second sentence. She wants to pass the exam is a dependent clause. She is subject, what is a verb, and to pass the exam is complement. So it calls a complex sentence. So the next explanation is I have to explain what is dependent clause. And what is dependent clause? Dependent clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb, but can stand alone as a complete sentence. It needs an independent clause to make full sense. So if you have a subject and a verb, and you make them as a clauses, it calls dependent clause because the sentence or the clause is not a complete sentence, so they can't stand alone. So you have to bring the independent clauses or independent clause to make your sentence as a complete sentence. I have an example. Because it was raining, it dependent clause because it feels incomplete or empty sentence. Because it is a conjunction, it is a subject, and raining is a verb. But if you just only have this sentence or this clause, you feel like this sentence is not incomplete or it wasn't a complete sentence. So you have to bring or you have to add an independent clause in the beginning of this sentence or in the end of the sentence. I have an independent clause here. We stay inside is dependent clause. This is a dependent clause. So we stay inside is independent clause that I have to bring for explain this. The dependent clause. So I have to write here. So now becomes a complex sentence. We stay inside because it was raining is a complex sentence. This is the end of my explanation. Thank you for your attention. The next subtopic will be explained by second speaker Muhammad.
okay, I will explain about the next topic, types of dependent clause. First one is subordinating conjunction. Subordinating conjunction is a word that connects a dependent clause and to an independent clause and show their relationship. For the example, the road becomes slippery if it rains heavily. The road becomes slippery is a independent clause and it rains heavily because dependent clause. The sentence we use if, because, if explain about condition why the road becomes slippery. Second example, we will start the meeting when everyone arrives. We will start the meeting is a independent clause and everyone arrive is a dependent clause. The sentence we use when, because, when explain about time why we will start the meeting.
Enggak.
Okay, next, how to write complex sentence. There are two ways to write complex sentence. The first, placing the subordinate clause at the beginning. If the subordinate clause comes at the beginning, you must use a comma before the independent clause. For the example, because the traffic was heavy, we arrived late. So, because is the subordinate clause at the beginning, and you must use a comma before the independent clause. And the second example, placing the subordinate clause at the end. If the subordinate clause comes at the end, you do not need to use a comma. For the example, we arrived late because the traffic was heavy. So we arrived late because is the subordinate clause, and the traffic was heavy is
Dependent.
enggak, yang dependent clause ini apa gitu?
Yang dependent clause yang belakang.
Yang belakang.
Iya.
Udah ada sana. A second example, placing the subordinate clause at the end. If the subordinate clause comes at the end, you do not need to use a comma. For example, we arrived late because the traffic was heavy. So we arrived late is a independent clause, and the traffic was heavy is a dependent clause. So because is a subordinate clause at the end. Okay. Second is relative pronouns. A relative pronoun is a word that connects a dependent clause to a noun, giving more information about that noun. For the example, the book which I borrowed was very interesting. If I just the book was very interesting is general, not specific. So I use which giving more information about that noun. In noun is the book. The second example, I've got a mate whose brother plays for Real Madrid. Because whose is explained about a man. This is the end of my explanation. Thank you for your attention. The next topic will be explained by my partner, Rifki Kamal.
Thank you, my partner, Miftahul Basar. My name is Hikam Hafiz. As a third speaker, I want to explain about subtopic is noun clause. Noun clause, a dependent clause that functions as a noun with a sentence, acting as a subject, object, or complement. It contains a subject and a verb, but cannot stand alone as a complete sentence. They usually begin with words like that, what, whatever, who, whoever, whom, whomever, why, how, when, where, whether, and if. So, noun clause function is a noun with a sentence, acting as subject, object, or complement. Jadi, clause dependent ini berfungsi sebagai kata benda dalam sebuah kalimat yang bertindak sebagai subjek, objek, dan juga pelengkap. Nah, noun clause ini mempunyai subjek dan verb, tetapi dia tidak bisa berdiri sendiri sebagai kalimat yang lengkap. Okay, next. This is noun clauses as subject. A dependent clause that function as the main subject of a sentence. It tells who or what the sentence receives the action and answer the question what or who before the verb. Nah, jadi noun clauses sebagai subjek ini merupakan clause dependent yang berfungsi sebagai subjek utama dalam sebuah kalimat yang menjelaskan siapa atau apa dalam sebuah kalimat dan menerima tindakan serta jawaban di sebuah pertanyaan, yaitu what atau who sebelum kata kerja. Example number 1, what he did made everyone angry. What he did is a main subject or dependent clause. Made is a verb, and everyone angry is a complement or object. So he did explain to what. Okay, for number 1 is okay. So number 2, who is remains a misery. Who is a subject. Who who he is a main subject or dependent clause. Remains is a verb. A misery is a complement or object. So he is explained about who. Okay, this is the end for my explanation. Thank you for your attention. The next will be explained for my partner is Muhammad Abdul Fatih.
I want to explain about the next subtopic, noun clause as direct object. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you for my partner. The next topic will Thank you for my partner. The next topic I will explain about the noun clause as a direct object. Noun clause as a direct object is a dependent clause. It functions the direct object of the main verb in the sentence. It is action in the verb and answer the question. It means noun clause as a direct object is a dependent clause that functions as a direct object in the main verb in sentence of the main verb in sentence. Maksudnya noun clause sebagai direct object itu dependent clause yang berfungsi sebagai kata objek utama dalam kata kerja sebuah kalimat yang it is the action of the verb and answer the question. For example, she realized that she made a mistake. That she made a mistake is a noun clause. Noun clause. She realized it's a subject verb, and that she made a mistake is a noun clause as a direct object. Noun clause direct object or the direct object of the main verb realized. So she realized that she made a mistake. Next, he explained how the machine works. In the sentence, we can see he as a subject, explained as a verb, and how the machine works is a direct object. How the machine is a direct object? It's the main is the direct object of the main verb. Jadi direct object ini adalah inti utama dari si kata kerja ini. Jadi dia menjelaskan bagaimana mesin itu bekerja. Jadi direct object itu maksudnya langsung menjelaskan ke verbnya atau langsung to the point ke verbnya. Selanjutnya, next the topic is a noun clause as an object of a preposition. A noun clause. The next topic is a noun clause as object of a preposition. Noun clause as the object of a preposition is dependent clause that follows a preposition, comes after preposition and function like noun to complete its meaning. It's been noun clauses as an object is a dependent clause yang that follows diikuti kata ganti comes after preposition. Jadi noun clause as an object ini ada setelah kata ganti setelah preposition, and function like a noun to complete meaning about this sentence. For the example, the success of the project relies on how the team performed. The success of the project relies is the main clause. Then on how is a preposition. Only the preposition how the team performed is the noun clause or noun clause as object of a preposition. For this object, it remains it follow preposition come after preposition. Jadi objek ini adalah untuk objek si preposition atau objek kata ganti. Sebelumnya before subtopic it's the direct object for the main verb in the sentence. On this subtopic is the object of a preposition. Jadi the success of the project relies on how the team perform. Jadi main clause ini adalah main clause-nya, kemudian ada preposition di sini. Noun clause ini berfungsi sebagai objek dari si prepositionnya. And the second we are thinking about what we should do next. Nah, we are thinking is a main clause about preposition atau kata ganti. What we should do next is noun clause as an object of a preposition. Jadi what we should do next adalah noun clause yang menjadi objek untuk preposition yang berfungsi untuk melengkapi makna dari main clause-nya. Next. The next topic is a noun clause as a subject complement. A noun clause as subject complement is a dependent clause follows a linked verb and describes, identifies, or renames the subject of the sentence, completing the meaning of the sentence. So, linked verb itu adalah it's a connecting of the verb. Jadi noun clause as subject complement adalah we will take the example. The problem is that we are late. The problem is the subject. Then this is the noun clause follows linking verb. So the noun clause as a subject, it's completing the meaning for the subject. So the problem, jadi permasalahannya adalah kita itu telat, we are late. This is why the subject, the noun clauses as a subject complement itu adalah sebagai pelengkap yang untuk melengkapi makna dari subject as a complement to completing the meaning of the subject. Okay, the second example, the truth is that he lied. The truth is the subject, is a linking verb, and the he lied is a subject complement, and noun clauses as a subject complement. Jadi, so noun clauses it's followed by linking verb to completing the meaning about the subject. The truth is that he lied. Kebenaran adalah yaitu berbohong. Jadi adalah kalimat penjelas atau yang mendukung untuk melengkapi makna dari subjek, itu completing the meaning of the subject. Okay, this is the last subtopic of our presentation, and I think it's also this is the end of our presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.